Hey guys, it's Bootang, and today I am voicing over a speed paint I did of 3 dragons out of the 7 deadly sins. This is part 1, so after this you can go and watch part 2 if it's already up. If it's not, it'll be another week and then it'll come out. But basically, there's been a trend going around where people do 7 deadly sins as like demons or whatever, as like humans personified, I guess. And so I decided to do this, but I'm like, that sounds boring to do with humans because I can't really draw humans that well. So I decided to do it with dragons, and it doesn't seem like anyone's really done that. I thought that'd be cool, a little twist on it. So that's what I did. The first one I did was lust, as you can see here. Well, this is kind of hard with a dragon for the fact that it doesn't seem like Wings of Fire there's much of like lust to do with dragons. But what I decided to do was Icewing, because it made sense because they're cold and kind of just their pointed body and their thin pointed body would make a really good base to make someone who looks very sinister but at the same time very attractive. Dragon being attractive, that's kind of weird to say, but basically it'd be easy for them to be kind of conniving and looking like manipulative. And basically, I originally wasn't going to add any jewelry to the dragon, but then I decided to after it made sense, because it'd be like this dragon would prey on other people to get money for jewelry and stuff, and would use that to their advantage because gems in the dragon world is seen as attractive and shows power. And so it makes sense for this character to have a lot of gems to show power, but at the same time to show their beauty and their control. And I made them very pointed to symbolize their smooth cunningness. Now for coloring, I decided to make them blues and gray, like light bluish grays, to go along with the gems all over them. And it also represents like the ice coldness of their heart, I guess you could say, for the fact that they use other dragons, mostly males, to get money and power, when in fact they don't even love them at all, which I thought was interesting. And that was pretty much it. It wasn't much to do with lust. It was pretty cool. The position I chose, I thought it was an interesting position to show how it looked so powerful, but then at the same time looked very sinister and seductive. Now the next one I did was Gluttony. Obviously I did Mudwing for this one because it seems like all the time Mudwings are like the ones that always want food. And it's big, powerful dragon. Needs a lot of food to eat, obviously. I had some issues drawing the hand because of the claws and positioning it. As you can see, I redrew it multiple times. But what I decided to do is just aimlessly, the dragon just doesn't even look at the food, just aimlessly is eating and eating. Which is kind of what gluttony is meant to be. It's just aimlessly eating without thinking. And it's kind of like based off of a greediness, which is the next one after this, but it's kind of just aimlessly eating. So the eyes of this dragon is not even focused on it and is just there. It's just looking off into the distance at who knows what, and then is just sitting there shoveling more food. And I thought that was a cool idea. And then I made a very powerful and broad dragon to show their strength and how much they consume and the amount of power they get from it, I guess. And it shows why they always need food, and like the big, I guess, the strength in their muscle want more food. And now for the coloring, I just decided to go with very orangish, brownish colors, simple kind of, what would you call it, like simple toned colors, nothing really out of the ordinary, because I wanted to go with the chicken wing, which I know it's a dragon, so it'd be technically bigger, so it might be like a cow leg, but I want the colors to go match well with that, and I think it looks pretty good. And yeah, and then I just did a simple background. Now for the next one, greed. Greed was one of the hard ones I had issues with deciding what to try with, but then I ended up going with sandwing because there's obviously a lot in sandwing culture to do with treasure, and also with their past to do with the scavengers and stuff, and like groups like Talons of Power and stuff like that. Treasure is a huge thing in sandwing culture, so I thought that'd be cool. And so I made this character looking at some jewels. It's an amount that no one would ever need, but this character feels like he must have to feel better about himself, I guess. And so he's looking down at his jewels, not paying attention to anything else around him. And I made him flying mostly because I want diversity in position, and to show all the jewels on his body all over. Now, whenever I was painting or drawing him, I decided for like the gems, put them on a separate layer, and so I originally drew them out in this golden color, not because they're going to be like that, but just to make it easier for me to see where I was putting them. And I think it helped a lot than using black, because now I could see the difference between the gems and the body and where it's placed. If you looked in one of my older speed paints that I recently uploaded, I used the same trick but for plants. So yeah, this helped a lot, and I think it turned out well. Now, for his body shape, I made him thin and skinny and scrawny, like I guess kind of weakened by the gems and his greed for more. And I guess his dragon feels like the gems show power. Like I said, in the Wings of Fire world, gems represent power a dragon has. And so this small dragon wants to feel powerful against these bigger sandwings and like armies and stuff, or assassins. Wants to feel like he's bigger and better, and so gems is his only way to feel good about himself, sort of. And it's very interesting, the power dynamic gems plays. Now for the coloring, I did goldish colors to go along with the greedy sandwing, to be like he was greedy at birth, which would be interesting, and to match like the gems, which I did just gold and rubies because that's normally what sandwings have, and nothing special there. For all the different jewelry I chose, like the chains on his wings, I thought that'd be interesting because it was like chaining his wings together is very impractical, and also it showed off all his riches. And for like the rubies, it's pretty simple. I made big bulky gems to show off how much he owns. But yeah, it's pretty much, then I just drew a desert in the back. That's really it for these drawings. I really hoped you enjoyed watching this video. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye.